Good evening. You're watching Kenya's third most preferred TV station. This is Switch TV News at 7. I am Lincoln Wambugwa. Our sign language interpreter is Michael Maithe. We have a lot in line for you tonight, but first, let's take a look at the headlines. Deputy President William Ruto says he will fly UDA party ticket for his presidential bid while celebrating UDA's triumph in the just concluded Kiambaa by-elections in Jubilee's backyard. Fugitive police officer Caroline Kangogo found dead at her parents' home in Elgeyo Marakwet County. Judiciary aims at reducing the backlog of criminal cases in court to 50%, as well as reduction of pre-trial detainees to 30%. Glad you're watching. Over 30 minutes of the broadcast begins now. United Democratic Alliance has triumphed over the ruling party Jubilee. John Njuguna of UDA garnered 21,733, while Kariri Njama of Jubilee Party got 21,057 votes. Namikeni Samuel reports.
It is a big blow for the Jubilee Party after failing to reclaim the Kiambaa parliamentary seat. John Njuguna triumphing over Kariri Njama of Jubilee.
What about me? It is about Kiambaa people. We join hands together. They are worth competitors. We join hands together and build Kiambaa together.
The victory of Kawanjiku is a testimony of the new republic that we are going to build under the House of Nations.
There was a jubilation. There was dance. There was singing. Wanjiku won the by-election with a slight margin of less than 600 votes. Kariri Njama has not yet conceded defeat.
Sisi ni watu wa wheelbarrow. Sisi ni watu wa mkokoteni. Sisi ni watu wa kuuza biashara rejareja. Lakini tunawaambia leo, Mungu anatuinua kutoka chini na ametuleta tukuje juu. Mimi nimekuja nione wale watu ambao waogopi serikali wanakaa aje. Yani, nyinyi hamuogopi serikali? Serikali ni nyinyi ama ni Kibunya? Serikali ni nyinyi ama Murathe? Ni nyinyi ama machief?
Tukamwekelea mikono, tukamuita mbunge. Mungu amejibu maombi ama hajajibu? Usiku saa 8 saa 9 wanakatalia uchaguzi wetu. Nikamwambia Mungu, kumbuka hiyo maombi.
The election process was stopped at 3 a.m. after Jubilee allied politicians claimed votes in Gashie were rigged by the United Democratic Alliance.
Haya kuchagua Wajiko, nataka alete change Kiambaa, atufanyie mambo, atutafutie kazi.
Sika wa youth, tunataka kutengenezewa technical courses, ndio tusome.
The political wave in Mount Kenya is taking a U-turn, with the UDA claiming 50% of the votes in Kiambaa and losing by only 27 votes in Muguga.
They say power belongs to the people. Now, the people here in Kiambaa constituency have chosen John Njuguna Wanjiku from the United Democratic Alliance as the Member of Parliament in the August House. Namkana Samuel, Switch TV, Ruaka, Kiambu County.
Thank you, Namikeni Samuel. Deputy President William Ruto says he will fly the UDA party ticket for his presidential bid come 2022. The Deputy President said this while celebrating UDA's triumph in the just concluded Kiambaa by-elections in Kiambu County. Daniel Karaoke with more details.
In the political show of might that had put the president and his deputy in the ring for a head-to-head race, has ended up with the deputy president emerging victory, confirming his influence in the president's own backyard. Ruto expressed his confidence with the UDA party triumphing over the President Uhuru Kenyatta's Jubilee party that had lost with at least 510 votes. The Jubilee candidate had last week met with President Uhuru Kenyatta in State House to receive the president's endorsement.
Ile inaendelea pale ni a friendly match kati ya chama yetu ya sasa ya Jubilee na chama yetu ya future ya UDA.
According to Deputy President William Ruto, this week's mini polls in Kiambaa County have signaled that Kenya does not need to change its constitution through the BBI initiative to conduct peaceful elections.
Sasa watu wa Kiambaa na Muguga wametuonyesha ya kwamba inawezekana ifanyike uchaguzi, iishe, hakuna fujo.
Speaking today in Mathioya, Murang'a County, during the burial of Eliud Buku Munyori, father to his staffer Munyori Buku, the Deputy President explained that the problem facing the country today are leaders who refuse to accept elections.
Wale watu wanasumbuanga sisi wakati baada ya uchaguzi. Wanaenda kufanya maneno, wanaleta fujo mpaka wanafanya swearing in. Sasa wamepata masomo hapo Muguga na Kiambaa.
Leaders accompanying DP also lauded the IEBC for delivering a peaceful and transparent election.
Sizimetoka. We commend the IEBC, Your Excellency, and we need to increase funding going towards the elections next year. We would like peaceful elections.
Mungu tu, kijana mdogo ambaye ni amesoma mpaka university akakosa kazi. Akaandika barua akasema atasimama na wheelbarrow. Saa jana huyo kijana alishinda.
The hustler narrative has officially found way into the parliament doors, gaining its first victory with the newly found UDA party. Daniel Kariuki for Switch TV News.
Thank you, Daniel Kariuki. Muguga and Kiambaa by-elections have happened at a time when the country is experiencing a surge of COVID-19 infections and the Delta variant that has a high infection and fatality rate. Mariam Jahid brings us a report on how the residents and political leaders conducted themselves during the by-elections period.
Kiambaa by-elections is unique as it was conducted amid COVID-19 pandemic. By-elections of Kiambaa and Mugunga ward comes to an end after IEBC announced the winner respectively. There are fears of spread of COVID-19 in the area. This is after the residents of Kiambaa disregarded COVID-19 protocols as they were celebrating the win of their candidate Njuguna Wanjiku, who garnered 21,733 votes, leading with 50%. As they were addressed by the political leaders, there was no social distancing and disregarded wearing masks. This was also depicted in how leaders shared microphone without wearing masks, having that COVID-19 is spread through droplets emitted when speaking. This is even after IEBC urged all residents to follow COVID-19 protocols during this electioneering period.
Makarani specifically ambao wametrainiwa ama wamefundishwa vile ya kuhandle mambo ambayo inahusiana hii ugonjwa ya COVID-19.
The political leaders have not learned on how to conduct themselves as it is a repeat of Madaraka Day celebration that led to the surge of COVID-19 Delta variant cases in western region of Kenya. The former MP of Kiambaa, Paul Koinange, succumbed to COVID-19 on. As COVID-19 Delta variant cases increase in the country, it still remains a threat as we are heading towards electioneering period in 2022. Mariam Jahid, Kiambaa County.
Thank you, Mariam Jahid. Away from politics, fugitive police officer Caroline Kangogo has been found dead at her parents' home in Elgeyo Marakwet County. Her lifeless body was discovered lying in a bathroom after the incident happened earlier in the day, and her body moved to Iten County Referral Hospital mortuary. According to Rift Valley Regional Commissioner George Natembeya, Kangogo died of self-inflicted gunshot wounds to the head. However, a post-mortem report is yet to be done to confirm a cause of death. Kangogo, who was a main suspect for the murder of two men, John Ongweno, a police officer, and Peter Ndwiga, a businessman in Juja, has been described as the life of the party, with many of her exploits said to turn nasty in quarrels and fights. Patrick Lumumba, the Elgeyo Marakwet County Commissioner, has said signs of Caroline committing suicide were evident.
Kwa hivyo naomba wazazi popote, kwa maana si huku peke yake, ukiona mtoto anaanza mwenendo sio kawaida, jaribu kujua mtoto shida yake ni nini. Mtoto ambao umezaa hata kama ni miaka ngapi.
Remaining ones are sentenced prisoners. The judiciary is aiming at reducing the backlog of criminal cases in court to 50%, as well as reduction of pre-trial detainees to 30%. The current prisoners' population stands at 54,000, of whom 48% are pre-trial detainees, whilst the remaining ones are sentenced prisoners.
The National Council of Justice Administration, NCAJ, aims at reducing the number of pre-trial detainees by 30% before 2022 in a bid to decongest the prisons. This means that at least 7,700 detainees will have their cases sorted out to reduce the current population of pre-trial detainees in Kenya, which stands at 25,920.
And we will also do an exercise of ensuring that we regularly review sentences if people have been sentenced for what we call misdemeanors, small offenses, and they have served a significant portion of that sentence. They need to be released to go and contribute to national building.
Speaking during the first NCAJ meeting, CJ Martha Koome said that through the introduction of e-filing, the judiciary aims at reducing the prolonged corruption cases in the country.
We must reduce the waiting time. We must reduce the backlog of cases that are pending in our courts.
The Director of Public Prosecutions has reiterated that they shall not tire in the fight against corruption.
We are committed to fighting corruption here in Kenya. And we take note that it can be a threat to our very existence and the national security of our country.
Corruption has been the biggest challenge during President Uhuru Kenyatta's regime. However, Chief Justice Martha Koome has emphasized that justice delivery shall not be delayed. Flora Limuki, Switch TV.
Thank you, Flora Limuki. Elsewhere, members of parliament, led by the longest-serving student leader in Kenya, Babu Owino, now want varsity help increased. The legislators have sharply condemned the recent university fee increment, wanting it to be reduced rather than to be increased, stating increasing fees without involving stakeholders is equal to reducing the future of the nation, as the majority will not manage to go through institutions of higher learning.
Number one, we want university fee to be reduced by half instead of being increased by twice or thrice the amount. So after the reduction, first of all, after the reduction, we want help to be increased. And that help, we want it to be a grant and not a loan. Then we can sit and talk. But coming out of nowhere, because you are in the university council, increasing fee without consultation from the stakeholders, who are the students, who are the major stakeholders, without consultations from the parents, without consultations from people like myself, who are in the University of Nairobi the longest, in fact the longest serving student leader on earth. You did not consult, and then you want to increase fees. How are we going to help the future of this nation?
In regards to that story on university fee increment, send in your feedback, comments to our SMS line 111 at Switch TV Kenya and at link on Umbogo. We now take a short commercial break. Stay tuned, we'll be back with more. Welcome back and thank you for keeping it Switch TV. The Kenya Power and Lighting Company KPLC has declared the transformers set to be auctioned by KRA due to failure of paying tax do not belong to them. Speaking during the launch of the network digitization exercise in partnership with the National Youth Service NYS, KPLC officials noted that the company has continued to make losses and a partnership with NIS would help avert further losses. Rachel Duarte reports.
On the 12th of July, the Kenya Revenue Authority announced its plans to sell off transformers shipped into the country by the Kenya Power and Lighting Company by means of public auction, following Kenya Power's failure to clear various taxes associated with shipment. However, Kenya Power officials explained that they were unaware of the transformers set to be auctioned by the KRA.
Item in the news about transformers alleged to be ours. Those transformers were not ours. We do procure equipments like transformers through a tender process, and the winning tenderer has to deliver those transformers straight to our stores through Incoterms DAP or DDP. So until they reach our stores, they do not belong to us.
Today, the Kenya Power launched the network digitization exercise in partnership with the National Youth Service NYS in order to fast-track capturing, analysis and transmission of data.
I feel honored to address you this morning. This is a very happy occasion for NYS and Kenya Power, and it is taking place at a very hopeful moment when things are starting to look up after the economic upset occasioned by COVID-19.
Kenya Power, therefore, is not an island, but must look at critical collaborations, in this case with the National Youth Service, under the campaign that I just saw today, Hodi Hodi, Tunakuja Kucheki Meter.
The 225 million project is set to also counter further losses in the future and assist the company to identify overloaded, underutilized transformers. The SET project is said to begin on the 19th of July, where NYS servicemen and women will visit every customer premise and collect customer meter data and the meter box coordinates. Rachel Duarte, Switch TV.
Thank you, Rachel Duarte. Meanwhile, a section of Kenyans have expressed their joy following the memorable win of the United Democratic Alliance at just concluded parliamentary by-elections. A section of them have said Jubilee party's defeat in Kiambaa gestures its possible loss in the next general elections. Here's Majibu Kitsa with Bunge la Mwananchi, Kiambaa edition.
Wakenya wengi wanasafa. Tunajua pesa ni mingi Kenya, lakini iko kwa mifuko ya wachache.
Uchumi wa nchi unazorota.
Nchi ni yetu sote. Welcome to Bunge la Mwananchi, the #1 political set for debates and discussions by ordinary Mwananchi. Today, Bunge la Mwananchi is in Kiambaa. Kiambaa has decided that it is John Njuguna. Kiambaa has decided that it is UDA. What does this mean to the whole Jubilee party? Has Jubilee lost its political backyard? It is a conversation which we'll be having today here at the Bunge la Mwananchi. Definitely you'll join me. Na moja kwa moja kwa maoni yako, ushindi huu wa UDA kwako unamaanisha nini?
Sasa mimi ni Asula. Sidio? Sawa. Mimi ni Asula, nashindana na vijana wetu wengi hapa. Mimi nakujanga asubuhi hapa. Naamkia asubuhi kibarua. Unaweza kosa, si unaelewa buda.
Ulipiga kura?
Nilipiga kura.
Ulipigia nani?
Nilipigia huyu ndugu yangu huyu. Sidio? Sasa sisi
kwa nini ulimpigia?
Nilimpigia juu atuangalia maisha yetu. Tunakuanga chini.
Ulipigia nani kura?
Nimepigia John Njuguna Wanjiko.
Mbona ulimpigia John Njuguna?
John Wanjiko nilikuwa nampenda sana, alikuwa mwanabidii. Na namuomba Mungu aweze kumsaidia. Na wale watu wanasumbua serikali, inafaa kuwa wanatoka ndani ya serikali, wawachie wenye wako na nguvu wafanye wale wezi waende.
Kwako kidogo, kwako mzee wangu, hii inamaanisha nini kwa chama cha Jubilee? Inamaanisha kwamba Jubilee imeisha makali?
Jubilee saizi ile chama yenye iko, naona iko hafifu. Ni kuisha imeisha. Sasa sisi tunaangalia William Ruto. 2022 tunapea William Ruto kura. Na sisi tumepitisha hivyo na imeisha.
Asante sana. Huyu anasema kwamba kidogo UDA ndio kidogo imeongoza na atazidi kupigia kura UDA. Jubilee kwake imeisha. Maoni yako ni gani kuhusiana na hilo?
Kwangu mimi nilipiga kura kwa sababu nataka kutoa dynasty
tunataka ile inaitwaje, ile watu wa kujijenga kutoka chini ndio wakuja watuinue kasi sisi maskini. Hatutaki dynasty, hatutaki uongozi ya kuachiwa, tunataka uongozi kutoka huko chini, grassroots.
Niliamua kupikia hii kijana kwa sababu alikuwa na maono ya kuendesha hii nchi vizuri kulingana na maono ya president wetu ambaye ni Ruto, ambaye tumetegemea.
Kwako rais ni Ruto.
Kwangu rais ni Ruto.
Hii inamaanisha nini kwa chama cha Jubilee?
Inamaanisha mambo ya Jubilee nimewapigia kura mara 2 lakini mambo yao imeisha. Pele.
Asante. Kidogo mzee wangu jiongea hapa karibu, niambie hii inamaanisha nini kwa chama kizima cha Jubilee? Je, Jubilee imeisha makali kisiasa?
Hii ambapo Jubilee saa hizi imeisha makali kwa sababu hatuoni maendeleo yake, kwa sababu hii miaka 10 ambayo inaenda kuelekea kuisha hii hatuoni maendeleo hata kidogo. Sisi tumeshinda tukikanga tu hapa hivi, tunakaa tu hivi mahasala, unaona sasa tunakaa tu. Si ni mahasala watu. Sasa hivi tumeamua acha tubebe hurubaru.
Ushindi wa Kawajiko umeonyesha jambo kubwa katika nchi ya Kenya, sio hapa Central peke yake, hadi nchi ya Kenya yote imejua kwamba hatunanga upanguzi na tuko tayari kumchagua mtu yeyote. Haijamaanisha ameletwa na nani, haijamaanisha ametoka wapi, na haijamaanisha ako na nini katika mfuko wake.
Inamaanisha nini kwa chama cha Jubilee? Je, Jubilee kwako imeisha makali kisiasa?
Kwangu Jubilee haijaisha hizi. Jubilee kwangu iliisha kitambo sana. Sio saizi, tulimaliza Jubilee kitambo sana. Ni vile tukiwafikishia ripoti hawapelekagi ripoti, ila wao wanajua. Ukitazama katika uchaguzi wa Jubilee na wa UDA, mpaka Uhuru Kenyatta mwenyewe ameogopa kuingia katika hapa Kiambaa kwa sababu alikuwa tayari ya kwamba ako tayari kuaibishwa.
He's saying it is the hustler nation here in Kiambaa. And again, let me get someone else's views concerning this whole issue on the just concluded Kiambaa by elections. Mzee wangu, kidogo kifupi uweze kuniambia maoni yako ni gani kuhusiana na huu uchaguzi mdogo ambao umekamilika?
Serikali ilikuwa imetukimbiza mbio sana, na yenyewe hii unda
kura ulipigia UDA
kabisa.
Kwa nini?
Juna wapenda juu huyo mtu alifanywa madharau, mkubwa wao Ruto walimfanya madharau.
Nani kamfanyia madharau?
Sio wa vijana wa akina Uhuru kwanza yeye kabisa.
Sababu umeongelelea Rais Uhuru Kenyatta na chama chake cha Jubilee, hii inamaanisha nini kwa Uhuru ifikapo mwaka 2022?
Shida ni kumtenga Ruto. Wakati walimtenga, sasa chama ikakuwa ni mbili. Tukaunda. Mesikia hapo ni unda tukaunda sasa. Unda sasa imetutembeza mzuri.
Kwako chama ni UDA
kabisa, damu. Na sio damu, hata nikichinjwa mimi damu ni unda kabisa.
Thank you so much. That's all we had for you from the Bunge la Mwananchi Kiambaa edition. Kiambaa has decided, Kiambaa has said it is John Njuguna, it is UDA. Many thanks to all those who made this conversation a success, to all those who contributed. My camera person Francis. Till next time, stay safe.
Wakenya wengi wanasafa. Tunajua pesa ni mingi Kenya, lakini iko kwa mifuko ya wachache.
Uchumi wa nchi unazorota.
Nchi ni yetu sote.
A very good evening this 16th day of July 2020, and it's a good day for sports. To start us off, the upcoming World Under-20 Championship slated for August 17th to 22nd at Kasarani will be held without funds, according to Sports Cabinet Secretary Amina Mohamed. CS Amina said they were compelled to take these drastic measures since Kenya is yet to vaccinate over half of the population. She added the decision can be only reversed if the infection rate in the country drastically reduces, although any plans to admit fans into the stadium will still need a green light from the World Athletics. As such, huge screens will be set up in various parts of the country so that fans can follow the live action all over the country.
World lead time as well. What a finish. The Kenyans side by side being roared on. Just about cling on, and in the end she couldn't.
Now, the Kenya Lionesses are currently taking on Rwanda in Kigali Arena in the semi-finals of the ongoing Afro-Basket Zone qualifiers. And just to enlighten you is that Kenya is leading 25-11.
Muri zone yayo ngira ngo utangiye full court defense muri karate ya kabiri
Kenya iri trophy
As you can see, Kenya is currently ongoing. The likes of Felmas Koranga are steering the team because Kenya had earlier on lost to Rwanda 77, but this is now the semi-finals, which if Kenya wins, it will get an upper hand to tackle it on with Egypt.